Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we get to talk about the playoff Pistons.
Yes, man.
I remember in the beginning of the season when we were like, look at those postseason Pistons. They were like 10th seed. I like, just to see their name amongst the play-in teams early in the season. And this team since then said, we're not satisfied. We want more. They find themselves in a favorable matchup against the New York Knicks. And we got our guy, Rod Beard. Hold on. Let me make sure I do this right now. Senior sports editor at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Still a legend, though. Rod Beard with those Detroit roots. Let's get that drum roll going. Hey, yo! Shout out and welcome to the legend, Rod Beard. What up, though, brother? Hey, I like the scenery.
My boy outside. That's how you know he getting money now.
I bet the soul food's popping like a motherfucker.
He ain't in that room anymore. He is delivered.
We outside. We outside, everybody.
Collard greens and cornbread for breakfast.
Good morning. Oh, man. Yeah, it's good to be outside. It is good to be outside. The weather's a little bit different today.
Hey, Rod, we get to talk about Detroit playoff Pistons, man. And I know you're down already covering another team that is actually in the postseason. Shout out to those Atlanta Hawks. But
Are they, though?
Did they show up yet? I don't know. But the Pistons, though, and this is why I want you to take it away with Rod's thoughts, man, just to kind of just give your quick thoughts on Pistons, the preview, the Knicks, and then we do have a special Swisher break for you today.
All right, gentlemen. First of all, let me start with when KG is the voice of reason, we're doing something right. Where are we in the multiverse when KG is the voice of reason? Like, okay, you can. There's a middle ground. When he said that's a middle ground, I almost flipped out. Like, is this KG really? I don't even have any post-it notes for him today. He's the rational one in the room now. I don't know what's going on.
He's getting his headphones set right now with KG. He said, man, you know it's something when KG is the voice of reason.
Yeah, right.
Man.
I'm always the voice of reason.
Get plugged in. What up, though, Rod?
No, man, it is appreciate what you have, Pistons fans, because in Atlanta it's a little bit different in terms of the Hawks. That I was at the last game against the Magic, the last regular season game, and there is apathy. There is, even when the Pistons were bad last year and the last few years, this Hawks thing is a little bit different. So appreciate that, and congratulations, Pistons fans, on having a playoff team that is probably going to beat the Knicks. At least that's been some of the conversation around that. This isn't a Knicks sweep. This isn't a Knicks gentleman sweep. This is possibly a Pistons series win. So, yeah, you enjoy that. Enjoy that with everything that you have, because this is 4 or 5 years of futility in order to get to this point.
Absolute futility, man. And it was some of the worst Pistons basketball that we've seen. But there was a core there, and JB Bickerstaff has talked about it. I've been trying to bait him all season, and towards the end of it, was able to ask him a more formidable question, especially with the success that they've had, and it was just based around, hey, you've been saying that this team was it. What we're seeing right now since the beginning of the season. You even gave us, like, hey, listen, mile marker February, you guys will see X, Y, and Z. No, you will see the return to defense. We're going to get the principles, and you heard the players talking about how much more the light bulb was going off with JB Bickerstaff at the helm, and he talked about it. The talent was already here. And that's where I do believe going into this playoff series, a lot can be said about, what the vets will bring, having that experience. But what these young guys have brought, especially Cade Cunningham ascending to a star level, I do believe is going to be one of the absolute biggest factors when you're talking about the young guys like Ausar, Jaylen Duren, Cade, and even the bench players as well, Rob.
No, that's absolutely it. And we talked about the chemistry. We said it all preseason that it was going to be about the chemistry and whether they could gel. And Cade had the pieces around him to become the real Cade. Cade isn't a 30-point-a-game scorer every night. And we've seen that this year when Tobias has been able to step in, when Tim Hardaway has been able to step in on some occasions, and Malik Beasley. That's the story of this season. It's not the guys that they had last year. It's not Ausar. It's not Isaiah Stewart. It's not Jaylen Duren, despite what KG may say. It is the other guys that they brought in.
Yeah, we know the truth, right? I saw it. I saw it.
So quietly, KG, I gave you a little shout on Twitter.
I appreciate that.
Because for 2 seconds when Jaylen Duren scored those first 6 points, I'm like, damn, KG was right. Damn. Okay, maybe he's not.
No, I love that, Rod. I appreciated that for real.
As much as I'm gonna give you crap about stuff, I'm gonna give you credit when it seems that you're a little bit right sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Okay, I'll take it. Cool. Because I did have a question for you, and I know we're gonna break it down, but I just want to get your gauge of what your overall feelings are about this playoff series. What to you would be a disappointment for the Pistons, and what to you would be a success besides winning the series? Obviously,
disappointment would be getting swept, and that is the only thing. If you win a game in this series, you've won more than you have in the past, whatever it is, 16 years. They haven't won a playoff game. So if you told me at the beginning of the year they would get to the playoffs and they would win a game, I would say that was a successful season, and I'm not going to change that now. The only disappointment here would be that if they got swept. That's the only one. There are any other number of variations that make this a successful season, and I think that's the only bad scenario that we're talking about.
Man, you know what? I like that a lot, because if they're winning a game in this series, it's going to be based on all the things that we've seen throughout the course of the season. It's them being effectively a top 5 team, both defensively and offensively. Number 5 in offensive rating, number 3 in defensive rating since February 1st. And that, to me, gives them more than a fighter's chance. You know, one of the questions, I can't wait to ask JB Bickerstaff today at the media availability is just, effectively, how are you going to, and how are you going to look forward to imposing your identity in this series? Because they have been a transition team, but obviously we know in the playoffs, the pace tends to slow down a little bit. But this Pistons team has been able to buck a few trends and bend a few narratives to their will. And JB Bickerstaff seems to be one of those coaches who he's just not taking what somebody else is dishing. He's going to make sure that he is the person that is kind of in control, and this team has followed suit. And they're riding high on all of this confidence. Like, you hear them talk, you see them walking, you see them playing, you see them chirping, and you realize, this team has arrived a lot faster. They're even skipping the line. They're chirping at players. I'm like, can Jaylen Duren chirp at that guy? And it's like, well, 6 seed, they've been balling. Cade Cunningham mixing it up with stuff, talking to the refs in certain ways. It's like this team, in large parts, has accelerated, and I do believe that they're going to have a good opportunity to go into the playoffs and impose their will, their identity that they've forged all season in this series against the Knicks.
Right, and you know what wins in the playoffs? Defense. And we talked about their improvement in defense. I mean, let's if we go back and check tape on what we said at the beginning of the year, and I think we talked about, can they be a top half of the league or top 10 defensive rating team? And we're like, maybe. And they were. I mean, this is everything went right for them in terms of stuff they had to do, their controllables, with going out and getting the right free agents, going out and the chemistry with that stuff, those controllable things, and playing good defense, shooting well from 3, they did all of those things, and that's why they are where they are.
Yep, and JB Smooth, I sent you something via Slack. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
Our friends at ESPN, they made their selections, and shout out to Jamal Collier as well, another one of our friends and colleagues in the media. Got to meet him a couple times when he's come here and covered some of the Detroit Pistons press conferences, Trajan Langdon, JB Bickerstaff, including the Monty Williams press conferences. So I see his pick was in here as well, and they all made their East first-round picks. And this is the one for the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons before we get into our Swisher break. You see, there's not a lot of people that's picking the Pistons. In fact, nobody is picking the Pistons.
Of course
but
not.
Nobody's selecting them to get swept. There are some people who believe in that they're going to at least put up some fight. I know Stephen A. Smith says that he's actually a little worried. He's worried about these Pistons.
That's good.
I know Udonis Haslem has just been absolutely – hey, right, he set up the Krispy Kreme. Him and Chandler Parsons, they set up Krispy Kremes all over Detroit. And they got Pistons. It's Pistons-themed donuts that they're pushing through the glaze machine. Because and he's been definitely making sure to try and get underneath Stephen A.'s skin. They believe that the Pistons have more than a chance, and they're going to actually go out here and have the better player and better overall talent and team in the series, which is going to have something to do with our Swisher break as well. But just really quickly before we get in the Swisher break, we'll put it on wax again. If we need to update before the series starts, we can. But I'll go around the room really quickly. Hey, Pistons, Knicks. What is your series prediction, Flannel Sam?
Just briefly, I'm going to go Pistons in 6.
All right. Hey, JB Smooth, just briefly, because you guys know we're running this back tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
JB Smooth.
Oh, Pistons at 6. Man, come on now.
Hey, Chopsticks, Pitsy 6, New York Knicks, Pistons in 6. All day long.
Man, they chopped. The Knicks are like they bootleg sandwich. They chop cheese right now.
Chop cheese, the Aki way.
They chop cheese.
Hey, Rod Beer, what say you, brother?
Pistons in 7.
Hey, I love it.
I've
I've
moved
moved.
the Garden to win the series.
Yeah.
I moved the Pistons in 7 as well. I was initially early on Pistons in 6. Moved the Pistons in 7 as well. And I do. Cade, that you said it best. Cade Cunningham, Game 7 in the Garden.
God, set him on.
It's a new day. We're talking about a new day right now.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Let's get that graphic up there on the screen, JB Smooth. Let's cook it up. You see Rod, he's already smiling. Let's get it going, boy. Swish or break time, guys. What's that graphic say? Swish or break.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Will, when you get a chance, play me some pimpin', man. And we will get right into this thing. We have a lot of Swisher Brick statements. Everybody contributed, from Sam to Kool-Aid to myself. So we'll try and get through as many of these as we can with you, Rod.
Rod,
we want
Rod, how much time you got? So we'll know how many questions we'll
Let's
roll
go
with you.
5 minutes.
Let's
Okay, cool. All right, so the first one, Cade Cunningham is the best player in the Pistons versus Knicks series, Swish or Brick.
Hey, you guys have seen those stats all season. You have seen the names that he's been amongst all year, and it's only been a handful. And he was one of 9 players to finish with the stat line he did of at least 26 points average, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds per game. And this season, that puts him just amongst Nikola Jokic. Cade Cunningham, and it's clearly the best point guard in the East. And even though the Knicks have a couple MVP candidates over there, these guys do not. And you check the stats, you check the impact. These guys are not having the same level of impact that Cade Cunningham is. But Flannel Sam, what say ye?
Easy Swish. If the Knicks might have 2 through 5, honestly, but the Pistons clearly have 1. Cade Cunningham, no question about it, best player in the series.
JB, really quick.
Forget a cat, forget a Brunson, forget a rat. It's Cade all day.
Hey, KG.
I'm in the same boat as JB. I mean, Cade is clearly the best player. He's better than Brunson for damn sure. If you want to argue Cat, I can understand it. But at this point, I think Cade has had a better season than Karl-Anthony Towns.
It's K-Troit, folks.
K-Troit.
K-Troit.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, Rod Beard, what say ye?
If it's not Jaylen Duren, it must be Cade. It is.
He's the number 2, Rod. He's the number 2 as of right now. Sheesh, man. Always throwing his little jabs, man. Go to Atlanta and just switch up. But nah, number 2. It will be a snub if Cade is voted any less than first team All-NBA. Swish or Brick, Mr. Second team All-NBA.
Hey, listen, you know what? Cade Cunningham, that man, you guys have heard the stats, you've heard me tell it, and there's just a few players in this NBA that I believe, if you're talking about MVP, deserve that consideration above Cade Cunningham. And you look at where the Pistons finished, you look at the historic tripling of their win total, being the first team to go from 14 wins to the playoffs, and a lot of that has to do with Cade Cunningham. I won't repeat those stats, but I will throw it over to Flannel Sam, who this was his submission, and I've been waiting to see what you have cooked up.
Brick. It's not a snub, but it's certainly a question. I think that
Shocking me.
I am not going to be up in arms if the NBA puts Anthony Edwards as a first-team All-NBA over Cade Cunningham. I think that it's a question, it's an argument. I personally would pick Cade, but the key word is snub. Anthony Edwards, career high in points, most threes in the NBA. I think that the Timberwolves organization, at least in terms of meeting expectations this year, kind of effed him by trading Karl-Anthony Towns, because say what you want about Cat, he was big for those teams. And the fact that Ant Edwards was able to lead this team to the playoffs and not the play-in and that gauntlet of a West, withstanding, the Golden State Warriors and the Grizzlies of the world, Ant certainly is in consideration. I think Cade or Ant, it's 50-50.
JB Smooth.
I kind of got to go with Flannel on this one and get this one a brick as well, too. The key word there is snub. Once again, we're getting national media love right now, but I don't think people are still fully behind Cade as well. So as you've seen from the 10-0 them picking the Knicks over us. So this is a brick for me.
They will definitely see him in this playoff series.
Yeah.
All eyes will be on Madison.
They better.
Square. What up, though, KG?
No, this is a brick, and the national media, has an argument about first team all NBA. They could easily just, not keep Cade out of that. But where I go is second and third team, and y'all know I've been on this all year long. There is absolutely no reason why he can't make third team, and at this point, there's absolutely no reason why he can't make second team. So, Rod, if he doesn't make second or third team, I'm blaming you because you and Omari Sankofa was supposed to get this shit together with the NBA media. Like, I'm not trying to hear that. You kept telling me all year, like, no, he won't win all NBA because of the national media. I think that's changed.
And for the record, let me just give one caveat. No worse than second team. If you told me that Cade and Donovan Mitchell were the second team All-NBA guards, I'd be cool with that. But if you told me that Ant Edwards and Donovan were second team and then SGA and Cade were first team, I think that would be perfectly acceptable as well.
And Marjay Spears has led that conversation every step of the way. Like, we would bounce around the ideas, and then Marjay Spears, we would see him. He would actually go and stamp the idea. He belongs in the MVP conversation. He belongs in the All-NBA conversation. He was one of the first ones. He belongs in the All-Star game. And then he started to say second team. I saw when he made that, it's the question now All-NBA second team for Cade. And since that time, all Cade and these Pistons did was more of the same dirty work that they've been doing. They've been getting down and handling their business. But Willie B, what say you? Is it a snub if Cade Cunningham is not first team All-NBA?
Yes, I'll call it a swish on that one because he gets snubbed. He did what he's supposed to do. He averaged 26 points, 9 assists per game, and 5 rebounds.
6 of them up.
Yeah, exactly 6 of them. Thank you. Man, why snub him? He's deserved to be first team. I mean, it's political with the NBA because everybody hates Detroit, and it's Detroit versus everybody. They think, okay, Pistons ain't viable to make it to the league.
I do believe his defense is a little underrated.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Both ways. I do believe that. But Rod Beard, what say ye?
I agree. It's a brick, and it's a snub only if he doesn't make second team. If he makes first team or second team, I think that is well worth it. Same idea that Flannel Sam put out there that if you said Ant, and I said this a while ago too, if it's Ant, cool. I mean, I get it. I understand because Cade isn't a bigger name. But first team, second team, third team, I think would be a snub. And if he has to be all NBA, like he cannot be not on the third team either. That would be a complete snub.
All right, I was watching what you was gonna say. I got you documented in the booth, man. It's a sticky note that says Rod B says that they will make he will make second team, man. So it's good.
We'll sneak one more in there.
One more. You're killing me,
3,
dog.
2, 1.
I wanted to ask him about Jaylen Duren, man. You had cooked up one about Jaylen Duren, but I will go to this one instead. Cade Cunningham needs.
I got to run. But I'll catch you guys next week.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Rod.
Yep. Sorry, Rod. Thank you.
No, thank you, man.
All right, we'll see you.
Yes, sir. And I'll definitely make sure to talk about Rod Beard some more. That new title, that role that he's in. He's down south in Atlanta. You know, a long-time Detroit guy, long-time media guy, University of Michigan, Detroit News. Covered the Pistons for 7 years before becoming sports editor-in-chief at the Detroit News and giving us his time here at Woodward Sports since the beginning. And still giving us his time, even though now he's the senior sports editor at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So shout out to Rod Beard, the legend, still giving us his time, still tapped in with these Pistons. And I'm definitely, let's take a quick break then, and then we'll get back and do the rest of the Swisher breaks.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Pistons thing.
Dr. Pierce.
Yeah. Attention sports fans. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy, every Thursday on Armani Networks, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC does. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more from MEAL, Buddy'sPizza.com. Hey, and we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward, still in the Woodward Pistons playoff edition. This is the very first Woodward Pistons show during a Pistons playoff season. Wow. That is absolutely wild and crazy. And again, shout out to Rob for still being committed and still staying tapped in all the way from another state, another job where he's tapped in with another team. But something tells me this Pistons one is going to give him a little bit more content over the coming weeks than maybe the Atlanta one.
They might lose to the Bulls or Heat, honestly. Actually, I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
Whoever plays the Hawks in the play-in, they go to the playoffs, the Hawks go home.
I'm telling y'all, man, there's just something about Trae Young, and I don't think that the noise little birdies. I don't think the noise is going to die down around Trae Young and potential departures or trade candidates this offseason. So that's going to be an interesting one to follow. But
they looking to get rid of him. Yeah, just be real about it.
Because you notice there's going to be a lot of other teams that are going to step out and say, we're ready to let go of our star.
Yep.
You saw yesterday the report of Joe
D.
Dumars, and now the mandate could be, and this is via Hoops Hype, and they've been on it. They're really on it. That the mandate is get rid of Zion. This summer.
It's about time, man.
KD is on the block, then Zion's on the block, and others. But you know who's not in that dysfunction? The Detroit Pistons.
The Detroit Pistons.
Shout
and
out.
certainly not Swisher Break.
Let's ride.
Oh,
No
you know it, bro.
dysfunction there.
Nah, we definitely gonna continue this. Sky Dog, I was not too slow. We were having fun, and Rod just didn't have time. But I gotta throw my shots back, man. But
Rod only had one segment today. That's 15 minutes. He gave us more than that.
yeah, exactly. So big shout out to Rod. He's a busy man now. He in ATL. I saw somebody say he had a Magic City appointment. Maybe
he wanted this too. That's the cool thing is that he wanted to be on.
No, absolutely.
He's like, man, y'all are my guys, and it was interesting when I got to talk to him when he started letting me know what was going to happen with his career, and he was just like, yo, and he said it on air as well, like this is something that he actually looks forward to. It's a part of his week, and we are his bros, and a connection to home, away from home, still covering the sports that he still knows and loves. So
no, absolutely.
I absolutely love it. I'm grateful for his time, grateful for the Woo crew and the camaraderie we have, because that was one thing that he made sure to tell me is not just the brotherhood he and I developed, but the fact that he developed brotherhoods with all of you guys.
Absolutely.
And that to me is impactful. When I see him go out and he's shouting you out on his 56,000 followers.
Bro, I was so fucking honored, bro. I was so honored. And he kind of admitted I was right. But, it's hard to get that out of Rod, man. Pause. But,
Pause 10 times.
No, big pause, man. But hopping back into Swisher Brick, because this is just too damn good. We had to continue it. The New York Knicks are the more talented team in the series versus the Pistons. Swish or Brick?
This is one that I've continued to hear. It's something that I have, even as I continue to look at the teams, have continued to say, but sometimes I'm conflicted because I love the way the Pistons team has played, even in the absence of Cade Cunningham. But you look up and down the roster of the New York Knicks, and they have a formidable mix, including 2 MVP candidates and players that traditionally can give the Pistons fits in guys like OG Anunoby. But what say ye, Flannel Sam?
Swish, but barely. I may have missed. It's weird because the Pistons have the best player. Then the Knicks probably have at worst the second through fourth, and then you got to look at guys like, is Malik Beasley better than Josh Hart? Et cetera, et cetera. You got to go through all of those.
Depending on what you're asking for, but
absolutely. But I think just with the playoffs, rotations shorten. The Knicks having the more talented starting lineup could give the Pistons some problems, and leads me to declare that, not saying the Knicks will win, but they have the more talented roster.
What say JB Smooth?
I'm torn between this one because honestly, looking at their roster, as you said, it is very talented and they are stacked. But if you're asking me, I have more faith in the Pistons roster as it is. So I think this is a brick for me.
No, the Knicks are definitely more top heavy. We have the best player in this series, but they have the next 3 in Brunson, Cat, and Mikal Bridges. But I don't think it's as far off as most people think it is. I personally think the Pistons have a better bench unit than the Knicks, and that's going to play a big part in this playoff series because outside of OG Anunoby and Josh Hart, I just feel like we have way more offensive firepower and better ball handling coming off the bench than they have, although McBride ain't nothing to sneeze at either. But I would have to go Swish with this just because, like I said, they're top heavy. They're more top heavy than we are.
Yeah, hey, Willie B.
I'm going to edge off with a Swish because here's what New York Knicks had. Because Josh had the OG Anunoby, plus they got Cameron, a bench. What's one thing concerned about it?
Bitch?
A bitch.
They got a bitch?
Not a bitch. Not a bitch. A bitch.
It still sounds the same way.
It sounds.
It's still not a this.
Not a bitch.
I'm not hearing the difference.
But he got Cameron Payne. He got another Precious Achua.
Yeah.
And they bitched a little slightly.
They got all those players.
They ain't
that
got
give the
OS
Pistons
PJ
fits.
Tucker.
Yeah, they saw
They
it.
still they top heavy like you said because they got a good front court off the bench. That's just a little minus what Detroit got, but Detroit kind of edge it out because we got to bench ourselves.
But do they got that Detroit thump though?
No.
Top heavy New York.
No. I mean, I understand it's
We
New
don't
York,
have-
but this is Detroit. We get a little more edgier. You know what I mean? That grit.
Well, that's where it's an interesting conversation because if you were to just ask me, and I kind of alluded to this in the segment with Rod, the best player in the series is Cade. I think 2 through 5 are on the Knicks, but then 6 through 12, all of them except Josh Hart are on the Pistons.
Yeah.
It's a funny. It's going to be a great series.
It's
going to be a great series.
It's going to be one. Let me
battle.
see here because I want to see what the chat is saying as well as it relates to this because it's going to be an interesting one here. And I see Grim says a brick. And if you guys have any more context, definitely throw that in the chat. But Jordan from MI says Brunson is a top 5 overrated player. I'm taking maybe
Brunson?
5 point guards
tripping.
over Brunson. Brunson is tough.
I'll say this,
He's
though.
5'11".
Taking 5 point guards over Brunson, I don't think that makes him overrated.
No.
I mean, he's not Cade, but he's really good.
Yeah, and he makes his money in the playoffs. I wouldn't say he's overrated by any stretch. He's
not
arguably
at
the
all.
best player on that team, and they have Karl-Anthony Towns,
Yeah.
but he's arguably
I
the
think
best
he's
player.
First
properly
option
rated.
offensively.
Mint May says Pistons are more cohesive. And
I can dig that.
Their offense, especially when you see even how they perform without a Cade Cunningham, is when you really understand their system at play isn't work. Because there's times when Cade, Schroeder, and no point guard is on the court, or Sasser, and they're still it's Ron Holland and Beasley in the backcourt, and they're still out there making stuff go.
Yeah.
And that's where I actually lean towards that a lot. That's a good point. That's a really good point. That might show up in our keys tomorrow night. But I'm also seeing a couple more here. Weezy D313 says OG is a unit. Don't we want Ausar to be OG, and isn't OG a champion? Yeah, that's one of those X Factor players to me.
Absolutely.
For the New York Knicks. He has some pedigree, man.
Only edge that the New York's had playoff experience for last year, and this is Detroit's first playoff experience in a long time. So I want to see how this is going to go out.
Yep, and Stephen Davis says, talent-wise, it is the Knicks, but Pistons are the better team. And
Yes.
that sounds like the recipe or the identity we've heard from a lot of different winning, not just Pistons, but Detroit teams in general. They just seem to find a will, a way, a grit beyond just the talent that they have to get them to that next level and compete with some of the more talented and star-studded rosters.
No, absolutely. It's not as far off as people would think just on paper. This probably is the best first-round matchup of any of the first-round matchups, the most evenly matched one. But let's go to the next one. We know Cade, Malik, and Duren will be top players this season. Who are the next 3 most important players after them? So it's more of an open-ended question instead of a statement.
Yeah. Instead of arguing or trying to figure out if it's Malik Beasley, if it's Jaylen Duren as the number 2, the question here is, who are those next 3 players? We talk about the Pistons' depth, and that's why I'm glad you asked this one second. You see people in the chat even talking about the fact that, no, man, you know what? The Pistons got the depth. Well, then who are those next 3 players that you all believe are going to step up and be huge X factors for the Pistons? Got a lot to choose from, but I'll leave it up to you guys.
Tobias Harris.
Hey, he showed up.
Y'all
in the
better
ESPN
stop.
Plus article about
Y'all better stop playing with that,
the
man.
16 players who could swing the first round series.
You mean Sweet Tea?
Tobias Harris was their pick.
Absolutely.
JB, I'm gatekeeping the F out of Tobias.
Yeah, no, it's playoffs. Y'all got to chill on that TH12 slander, bro. Like he's gonna be good. He is.
I'd go Ausar Thompson and Isaiah Stewart just for what he can provide on defense on Cat. That could be the number 1 thing that swings the series. And I'm
So
dead
what were your
serious.
3 again? You said Tobias?
Tobias, Ausar, Stu.
All right. JB Smooth.
Give me beef stew, Ausar, and Dennis Schroeder.
That's a good one.
Ooh,
He's
that is a good
He's
one.
led them in assist to turnover ratio since he's been a Piston, and he's had the highest assists per game off the bench since he's been a Piston. That's Dennis Schroeder. What up, though, KG?
Yeah, give me Tobias, give me Schroeder, and give me Stu. And once again, I said this yesterday, I need Beef Stew to have that stat line he had a couple games ago. 0 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound, but your main highlight is harassing the fuck out of Karl-Anthony Towns. That's all I care about. Gangsta ass stat line. That's what I need you to go do. But Schroeder is going to be big in the half court in the series. They needed a distributor off the bench that can, run that half court set, be able to play defense and hit shots. He's going to be big. And we all know Ausar Thompson, more on him later, but we all know Ausar Thompson's defense is absolutely key in this series.
I got Dennis Schroeder, and I got Ausar Thompson, and I got B. Stu bitching Karl-Anthony Towns through the whole series. If you do
benching
that,
him?
Bitching him.
You and this B word, bro. God damn. There's women in the room, bro. Come on.
I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, man, they're going to punk slap him. Punking at Karl-Anthony Towns, since you want to change it up. Punking him, so that's what I got for the 3. So in that case, Isaiah Stewart had to do his thing defensively against Karl-Anthony Towns.
Willie, I still think you're undervaluing Cat just a little bit. But
a little bit.
Willie,
I see him fold in the playoffs.
You don't know what's gonna happen when you get that punk slap, though. I love Willie V.
Oh shit!
And look, I got my players. I was gonna go a little bit different, and I do believe this thing is gonna rest heavy on what Isaiah Stewart and Ausar Thompson bring to the table. But one player I've been thinking about a lot, who had a great start to the season and helped to bolster this team when their offensive cohesion wasn't the best, and throughout the season he's shown up really big. And when he got back from injury, he still showed up pretty big for this team. Can be streaky at times, but when he's going, he's going. And I do think that's going to be Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
I believe he has an opportunity to go out there and hit that connection he has with Cade Cunningham, the way he supports him, the way he just swings the rock, the way he'll go in there and step up and set up and take the charge. I laughed. I'll be honest with you, and I feel bad. I kind of chuckled when he was like, at the media day, y'all know I'll take charges. And it was just like, you're gonna hit the threes? Are you gonna be this? Are you gonna be that? And then you go out there and you see him early in the season while they're still trying to figure things out, literally leading the team in charges taken. And so I do. I believe that you're gonna see something really good out of Tim Hardaway in this series. He's gonna step up and be one of those guys out of nowhere. You're like, yo, he's averaging 17 a game in this series, hitting a 3 at one of those kind of heater clips that we can see him get off to. I think we're gonna see Tim Hardaway on the heater in this playoffs.
17 points per game, maybe plus 40%.
I would love that.
They win the series.
Yeah,
if that happens.
I think we see him just kind of go off, man. I really do. But what we got next?
Next is the Jaylen Duren question that I really wanted to ask Rod, but this was a good one by you, Kool-Aid. Jaylen Duren will take a star-type leap this postseason. Swish or brick?
Jaylen Duren has been a very, very popular topic of conversation here at
Sure
Woodward
has.
Pistons. Is he the 2? Is he the 3? Do you even classify him as such because he's a big man? But Jaylen Duren's impact is something that cannot be, undervalued here, especially with the leaps he's taking on the defensive side and trying to become a better two-way player and much more reliable on the offensive side this year. The number one lob connection in the NBA is Cade Cunningham and Jaylen Duren. And when you talk about the playoffs, when you talk about the skill set he has, you're going to have even more opportunities for that type of half-court play. And this is where I do believe you see Jaylen Duren take a big leap forward both sides of the court in the series against the Knicks. And all eyes will be on him. We know this. It's 2 parts with Star. It's 3 parts. You have to show up, you have to win, and you got to have the eyes on you. And right now, they have the eyes on him. They've done the first 2, and he has to continue to perform.
This is where the wording is going to be the answer to my question. Brick. I don't think he's going to take a star-type leap because I still think that his game is a little bit too limited to have a star-like impact. I think he's got to get better defensively, and he's got to obviously develop somewhat of a perimeter game. But can he be incredibly impactful in this series? Can he help limit Karl-Anthony Towns? Can he catch lobs? Can he get rebounds? Absolutely he can. I think that Jaylen Duren will just be that really good center that contributes to a winning Pistons series. Maybe gives you, I think Wheezy D13 in the chat, 16 and 10. You know what? I'll go 15 and 13. Maybe a couple assists, maybe a couple blocks. That to me is what I think Jaylen Duren's going to do.
That'd be a great series, though.
That would be. And You know, he has an opportunity to even push that a little bit higher when you're talking about putbacks, when you're talking about the lob connections, when you're talking about the interior passing that they can get into. We've seen Ausar Thompson feed him for some easy buckets as well in the half court. That's where I do believe he has a chance to get more. If this becomes a half court series, if the pace slows, Jaylen Duren's stats could look pretty gaudy.
Well, if it's like 20 and 12, then you could say he took a star leap. At least you could argue it.
But I like where your stat line is at right now. The 15 and 13 would be really
That'd be
great
amazing.
first
To me,
playoff.
that is a star leap. If you
That'd
ask
be
me,
great.
in the
You're
playoffs,
talking about star, though.
yeah, but in the playoffs though,
If the defense was on another level, like if he took a step and his stocks
Sure.
are like 4.5,
yeah.
I could start to go that.
Because we all know offensively he's a little limited. But if he can go out there and put up 15 and still crash the boards for 13 and give you the stocks, that's to me a star type performance. But
Definitely
we'll get into it. I want to get JB's opinion.
What up, JB?
I gotta go with Flannel on this one and give it a brick as well too. I don't think he'll take a star type leap because he definitely will get tested during these whole entire playoff series, but I can see him growing and learning a lot more at each series that they go in and each game that they go in. So it's still a brick for me, but I can still see the potential that Duren will have soon enough.
Nah, this is going to be a swish for me, and I'll take it a step further. He has to have a star level performance, and once again, this is why he is the number 2.
Still all chips in.
No, but this is why he is the number 2, because you're relying on him for a multitude of things in this playoff series. Who are you relying on for rebounds in this series? It would be Jaylen Duren. Who are you relying on being the main pick and roll partner for Cade Cunningham? It is Jaylen Duren in this series. Who are you relying on for most of the low post defense in this series? It is Jaylen Duren. And you can argue Isaiah Stewart, but he's not going to get the minutes that Jaylen Duren's going to get, especially against Cat in the paint. So he's going to have to go out there and not only be great defensively, but he's going to have to provide a level of a threat, you know, in the pick and roll game, being able to, you know, get putback dunks, like you said, second chance points, just being aggressive and being a force down there. And defensively, he has to step up. I mean, they're
out of foul trouble trying to defend.
Exactly. And it's same case for Beef Stew too. You have to stay on the court regardless of what happens. Even if you're not playing your best game, you're more valuable to this team on the floor than on the bench. And that's something that both of those guys have to worry about. But just overall, all the things that you need out of one singular player, I would say he's the second most important player in this series, bro. If he goes out there and lays a dud, the Pistons don't win, and they might even get swept. So I think it's swish.
What up, dog?
I get a swish. I definitely give him a swish because he definitely gonna show out. If he don't have to have a polished post game or a perimeter shot. He gotta do what he does best: get in the lobs, get more rebounds. And if he average 20 and 20 and step up in blocks and shut down the Karl-Anthony Towns or the front court, he gonna show that. It shows that how Jaylen Duren evolves.
You calling for 20 and 20, Will?
I call it
20 and 20? Yeah, we not
At
asking
least
for 20
one
and 20.
time, or you talking about the whole series?
one time. I mean, averaging 20 and 13 in the
I can
series.
see him I can see him go off for one
Sure,
game.
one game. I thought you were average.
I thought not averaging, but averaging a good basic 18 and 15 in series and 2 blocks. That was still the deal of Jaylen Duren evolve as a top tier player.
Let me tell you, if he go 20 or 20 in this playoff series, I'm crashing the fuck out. I'm coming here on all bullshit. I promise
This
you.
is funny,
Call
man.
Will
Weezy-
Duren or Jalen Chamberlain.
Right. Will Duren.
Weezy D313 says, calling Cat soft is old and tired. Mr. My City, though.
It shows,
Shout out
though.
to the $2
It
super
shows,
chest. Cat's a
Bish.
bish. Pistons in Sid.
Yeah, bish. In my Kendrick voice.
Dog.
You looking like it easy. Come up, yeah, bish.
There's no middle. There's literally
no.
either he's soft or he's going to do work against the Pistons. I haven't really seen much of a middle. And, hey, I'm not going to be in the middle. Soft Cat, man.
To me, it's all about that fourth quarter, though. And we kind of saw it in the game that they came here in the last game of the season for them. If you can get in Cat's head in the fourth quarter, that's what matters. Because he was giving Duren and Stu buckets that whole game, but in the fourth quarter when it mattered, they shut him down.
He was 2 of 7 against Stewart in that last game.
Yeah,
29% from the floor.
That's
man.
all you gotta
there
do.
you go, man. There you go.
If you punk him in that in clutch situations, he would fold. like he did in the Western Conference Finals last season.
So then it's honestly, if you know that you're going to have the stamina advantage because you're going to be able to rotate 2 starter level bigs as it relates to defending Cat, then that means it's about how you start the game versus him. You have to make sure he's uncomfortable.
Yep.
You got to be chasing him around. You got to be yelling out when you need help, because when their communication dips and then they start getting frustrated, we've seen this team, sometimes there's some speed bumps. And in the playoffs, those speed bumps against a Tibbs team, man, those wheels will pop off quickly. We've seen it. And before this year,
sir.
That boy it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Preseason, summer league, it doesn't matter. If it was Pistons, Knicks, he was running the floor and mopping it up with the Pistons. Now those tables have turned, but the playoffs, still a different level of intensity, and I'm glad that we do got those 4 vets on this squad who have that experience.
No, absolutely. And like Sean Belegian said yesterday, shout out to him, all the pressure is on the Knicks here. Like, the Pistons are playing with house money. No, you don't want to see them get swept, but overall, don't let the Pistons win that first game in MSG. The Knicks going to have some problems, bro. Like, all the pressure is on them.
Absolutely.
So
inject that into my veins.
No, please, bro, please. We got 2 more here. These are 2 more that I crafted. We'll start with this one.
Close out the show then?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
We'll start with this one first, though, because the last one I feel is going to be a little.
Then let's say what up, though, to our friends at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi,
Absolutely.
and they will definitely, because they close out our show every single day. So hey.
As they should, because I am a driving man because of them. Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, Detroit's #1 Chevrolet dealer and the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year for 6 consecutive years. They got deals of the month. You can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew for just $199 a month. You can also get a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $249 a month. Come see George Hawes and his team at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi.
Hey, let's finish this out.
All right. Ausar Thompson is the X factor for the Pistons in this series. Swish or brick?
We've seen Ausar Thompson be that guy, that glue guy, that anything you need guy, that, hey, we need you to step up your usage and impact guy all season for the Detroit Pistons since he got going after the blood clot issue. And now you're entering into a series in which when you're talking about the types of players that the Knicks have, and this is even more or less from a defensive standpoint, Ausar Thompson is going to be your most versatile defender. He's going to be one of your guys who can go all game chasing after and switching everything and fighting over picks. And then when you talk about the impact that he has on the offensive side of complete versatility, including, even if the three is not falling, still being able to find the gaps, find his lanes, use his athleticism, his speed, and his IQ to finish effectively at the rim. When you talk about Ausar Thompson being that X factor, that's where I do believe when you're talking about the players starting, players off of the bench, he's going to be the guy on both ends of the floor that you need to have one of those types of series. But what say ye, Flannel Sam?
That's a good one, but my X factor is Isaiah Stewart. After what I saw him do to Karl-Anthony Towns in the regular season game, I'm not saying that it's going to necessarily 100% carry over, but one of my biggest keys is I think Karl-Anthony Towns and the way he plays flips the series. If he plays like regular season Cat in this season's first round, the Knicks win. If he plays like last year's Western Conference Finals Cat, then the Pistons win. And somebody who is going to have a lot to say and how Karl-Anthony Towns plays is Isaiah Stewart.
What up, though, JB Smooth?
KG, what was the question one more time?
Ausar Thompson is the X factor for the Pistons in this series.
I'll go with a Swish on that just because he's that question mark. You don't know what you're going to get out of him night in and night out. One night it can be 10-plus points. He's scoring. He's grabbing rebounds. Or another night he'd just be all defensive, which you absolutely love and want to see even more as well, too. So I'll definitely say he'll be that X factor, that what if. You never know what you're going to get out of him night to night.
Yeah, and let me state for the record, I don't think there's a wrong answer here. Like, I love Sam's answer of Isaiah Stewart. There's a lot of players that you can choose from. You can go Tobias, you can go Dennis Schroeder. It's a lot of ways you can go. To me, this is a swish because defensively, I don't think we got to worry about Ausar Thompson. He's going to go out there and give us his A+ effort on defense. It's all about what he can contribute offensively that's going to make the difference for the Pistons in this series. Because if you can get that Ausar that's cutting to the basket, that's challenging the defense, like you said early, in the half court set, you pass the ball to him and just let him go downhill, see what he can create and drive and kick maybe as well. I think that's going to play big for what the Pistons will be able to do, because if you can get scoring from him and you can also get the defense, that makes them that much more dangerous.
What What up, though, Willie B? It's well stated.
I'm gonna edge out with a switch, to be honest with you, for Ausar Thompson, because you never know, and he's still young at this game. It's his first playoffs in his career. So I'm gonna be honest. He could do both ways. Be a stopper if you stop Jaylen Duren. Jalen Brunson in the perimeter, and still get offense and drive to the basket and do all around game. He had a chance to be a factor. He definitely got a chance to be a factor in the series. If he shows up, Pistons have got a way to win in the whole series.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people in here, Skydog and just E313. A lot of people saying Holland, bro, and I don't think that's a bad answer either.
I'm proud to see. I was wondering, and that's why I framed it this way, because I do believe Ausar Thompson and Isaiah Stewart are probably the easier ones. I went back and forth which one I was going to put on there. But I wanted to see if there were some other players, including Tobias Harris, including Ron Holland, that people would pick up on.
No, but once again, there's no wrong answer here. But no, I loved everyone's answers, and they can all be considered the X factor. But for this final one, and this one is a little more nuanced. Cade Cunningham needs to average at least 29 points, 8 assists, and 6 boards this series for the Pistons to beat the Knicks. Swish.
29, 8, and 6.
How much again?
So he's scoring a little bit more.
Yep, I'll restate the question. Cade Cunningham in this series needs to average at least 29 points, 8 assists, and 6 boards for the Pistons to beat the Knicks.
I feel like it's in line. Goodness gracious.
So the scoring has to go up a little bit. I think we all know that. Yeah. But everything else,
I think that's modest growth as it relates to Pistons. You're talking about taking that next step up, that next level up in the playoffs. That's what you want to see from Cade Cunningham. And I see what you did there. The assists down just a little bit, the scoring up just a little bit more. So you're not necessarily having to go out there and create anything extra. It's just Cade Cunningham going out there with his opportunities and providing a whole lot more as it relates to pressure from a scoring position. But what say ye? 29, 8, and 6 as the numbers Cade Cunningham has to average for these Detroit Pistons to win this series.
I don't want to pigeonhole to to just a number in terms of raw stats. 29, 8, and 6 would be fantastic. My worry is more not really worry. My key is the efficiency that he plays with.
Fair.
I'm gonna say Cade needs to have at least a 55% true shooting in this series. That's more the benchmark that I would use, and he needs to create good looks for others. I don't care if his scoring goes down, his scoring go up, his assists go up, his assists go down. Make the right basketball play all the time, every time, or as much as you can. I think that's more the key.
Sam not caring about stats? What?
I mean, shooting is a stat. Efficiency is a stat. I'm just...
No, it is. But no, I actually love that answer. JB.
You said 26.
All right, so Cade Cunningham needs to average at least 29 points, 8 assists, and 6 boards this series for the Pistons to beat the Knicks.
So scoring is definitely up. I don't see how this isn't possible for him to kind of do this night in and night out. Obviously, we've been seeing 30-point games from him for a while at least, so I think this is a switch. I think he can honestly get to this.
No, I fully agree. I think he could average 30+ in this series. I think maybe around 32 points, maybe keep the assists where they are around 8 and 6 boards. I think that would be a great welcome to the NBA playoffs stat line for Cade Cunningham in this playoff series.
I believe he has a great opportunity to actually average that double-double.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But does he need to do this? Yes. And I'm just point blank, period. I do think his scoring needs to go up, an uptick, because you are the best player in this whole series. We have all said it. You are the best player on the Pistons. You have to assert yourself. And that's what the playoffs are all about. It's about stars making a name for themselves and going out there and being the best players that they can be. The spotlight is going to be on Cade. He has to perform. And I have no doubt that he will. His play style is suited for the playoffs. That slower paced, half court type offense. Cade is going to thrive. But I do need a small uptick in points from Cade. Like I said, 29, that would be perfect. Anything around 29 to 30 is perfect. You still need to go out there and be the main distributor, so 8 assists is right on the money. And whatever you can provide in rebounds is just an added bonus, because you need to grab as many boards as you can. But no, I would say yes, he needs to do this in order for the Pistons to have a chance.
And I hear you, and for my answer, I just wanted to give a quick addendum, because this season I wanted to make sure that I didn't give him unrealistic expectations or anything. This season in the regular season, Cade Cunningham has a true shooting of 56.5%. Make it 60. I said 55. I'm calling for 60. I think if he does that and he gets open looks for his teammates and they play well defensively and Cade plays well defensively, they win the series.
Yeah.
And the thing that I really love about this series and how it sets up for a player like Cade Cunningham is that when those possessions become fewer, when the pace does slow down, when the whistles are starting to be swallowed, these are some of the things that we've seen the Pistons, honestly, and their success be born through.
Yes, sir.
It's effectively the type of basketball that they play. And J.B. Bickerstaff said all season he was preparing his guys for this type of basketball. And that's where when you're talking about fewer possessions but more prized possessions, that's where the ball is going to be in Cade Cunningham's hands more so, especially when you're talking about the fourth quarter. It will give him those opportunities to go out there and go on runs. It harkens back to, we've seen him go on these and have these types of games in the past, dating back to his rookie year, including the one going toe-to-toe with Kevin Durant, which prompted KD to make his first public statements that, Cade is like that and he's one of those guys. That's where I do believe these playoffs set up, especially with the way the pace goes and the possession, the total possessions, and how you have to effectively prize each and every one of those possessions. That's where I do believe Cade is going to have the chance to push that envelope a little bit more. But he is going to have that efficiency. But I'm glad that he's not a player. What do they call it? An ethical hooper.
Right.
Who is not reticent. He's not reliant on having to have the referees go out there and blow the whistle. We've seen him go out there and put up 30-point and 40-point games with either low to no free throws.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me. And that's where I do believe, and you said it best, his game is tailored for these playoffs. But Willie B, did you give your answer?
No, I didn't. I give Swish because Cade is playoffs time. I mean, playoff Cade had to arrive, so he had to go to take it to enough notch since the season. Okay, that's fine. Playoff Cade got to go take over. When he has to take over, he has to make sure that he got to do everything right, offensively and defensively.
Yep, and shout out Sky Dog. He says Brick, he needs to average at least 10 assists to win. That kind of speaks to the double-double that you was talking about. And I see Demon Dice in here, noted Chicago Bears fan, talking about KG, stop it. I don't know if he meant in terms of me saying that he can average around 30 points, but it's a 7-game series. It's very possible that K can go out there and average 30 and still put up the rest of the stat line that we've grown accustomed to. This is what he is. This is what he is.
And a lot of it has to do with the maturity on offense that this team has shown this year. They have grown, and we talked about that offensive cohesion. When we went back to the earlier questions, people say, well, we got the better team. Of course, we've seen this team perform with Cade on the court as well as without, but we know that it gives you something much more special, and your ceiling is raised much more higher when you got a guy like Cade. When he goes, because we talk about certain players when they get hot. When Cade gets hot, he can drop 40 on your team like that.
Yes, sir.
He can take over a complete fourth quarter in the last 5 minutes of the game. That's what you need in the playoffs. And where has he done this more so than not in his NBA career? Madison Square.
You damn right.
Madison Square. We got a whole lot more. I get it. We got to break this thing down. But I'm telling you guys, tap in with us, 7:30 p.m. Thursday night. Obviously, we're going to talk about it tomorrow morning a little bit too, probably. But we do got the playoff preview show, and I can't wait to get into some of the questions that we have dialed up for that.
Oh, that'll be a lot of fun. And Dante151, thank you for the super chat. Also, when he puts us in all caps, I'm not going to yell it if I tried. It would sound goofy. But also, when the Pistons get fouled, make the damn free throws.
Yes.
If you make them, you will win the series against the Knicks.
Facts.
That's part of it. That's
Facts.
absolutely part of it. Can't
Facts.
be having those. Got to be in the 80s, I think.
This is where I'm kind of
Control.
this is where I'm kind of happy that the refs have swallowed the whistle for the Pistons a majority of the season, because in the playoffs, like you said, you're not going to get a lot of calls. Like, it's going to be a lot of let them play type of aspects, and they're already used to not getting those calls. Yeah. So they know how to play through stuff like that. They won't get frustrated. So in that aspect, absolutely. Like, I'm so glad that this team seems to be geared for a playoff run such as this. Because in the MSG, you're not going to get a lot of calls. Like, let's be real here. Like, the Knicks are going to get a majority of those calls. So you have to make the free throws, as he said.
Let them play.
Hey, let's rock, man. I think that's the show. We'll break it down. And I hope you guys stay tapped in with Woodward Sports all day long. It's a great time for Detroit sports right now. Let's get that chest pass going.
Oh,
Hey, that's man. It's been Wake Up Woodward and Chat family. You guys have been on one. We appreciate the conversation, the agreements, the disagreements, getting Sam riled up.
Of course.
Change, man.
Easy thing to do.
I knew we'd be able to
It's too easy.
kumbaya and have some better conversation, or at least some more peaceful conversation for Flannel during the Pistons segment. And it is, with these Lions, I do believe that the conversations are going to continue to get more and more, and the Tigers, more and more nuanceical. They're gonna hurt a little bit different, or they're gonna honestly excite a little bit different because of where these teams are expectation wise. Lions, Super Bowl. Tigers, hey, you need to improve upon last year, and you want to see your dogs get it right. I do believe Riley Green, like you said, is gonna bust out this slump soon.
Today, make my life a little easier, Riley Green.
Today,
if you don't
please.
do it for yourself, do it for me.
Yeah,
Because,
do we got merch winners in the chat? I see another super chat in there by Mr. My
Oh,
City,
do
but
we-
I'll let JB handle
Where
that.
we at with the?
So we're still around like $10 off from merch, but shout out to Mr. My City for throwing in $5 as well
Appreciate
too. He
that.
said 9 points a quarter is 36 on average. 3 assists a quarter is 12 on average. 2.5 rebounds a quarter is 10 on average. It can be done. That's a
My man
triple
out here
double
math.
average. Pistons in 6.
The math is math.
Math is math. That's exactly. I'm like, you know what? Hey, shout out to our beautiful Woo Crew chat family members, man. They're the most intelligent chat in all of the
Don't
game.
you love
Damn
how
right.
Mr. My City is saying, like, just 9 points in a quarter. Like, 9 points in a quarter isn't really effing hard.
Right.
I'll tell you what. So
If anybody can do it, it's Cade.
Mr.
Yeah.
My City is basically saying Cade Cunningham is going to have the greatest playoff debut ever. I'm
Maybe.
here for it.
Yep.
I'm here for
And
it.
he says it best. Cade needs to be a superstar and the best player in this series, man. Hey, whoo, more talk on the way. But let's get this thing broken down. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder. That dude Justin.
Hey,
Kavasi
Dante.
Chase is in the building.
Dante came through with the last 10.
Oh, so we got a
I think we do. Yeah, ask JB.
Still waiting for it to update, but I think we got there. I think we're there.
Yeah,
Pick
it is.
somebody out, and by the time I get to you in our breakdown, give that giveaway, that merch away. And it's Kool-Aid at woodwardsports.com, whoever wins. But let's break this thing down. Shout out to Kavasi Chase as well, working hard for the Woo Crew and Woodward Sports. And Willie B in this sound booth. What up, though, bro?
Hey, what's happening right here, man? Dude, smooth as always and fun as always to get the Woo Crew going, especially wake up in the mornings. And when you hear a Flannel Sam rant, it's like coffee. Like,
It is.
It's hard to waking up, baby.
Right, wake up and smell it like, Flannel Sam crash out.
I am not changed. I'll admit it. I'm probably not changed, but that's okay.
You've been working on yourself, though. That's all you could ask for.
Yeah,
You've been
that's all
trying.
you
I've seen the effort from you.
Well, thank you. Man, it used to be worse.
No, it used to be worse. That's a fact.
Shout out to KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick, Rookie of the Year, MVP, and all around great guy. Shout out to Calvin Shepard.
Yes, sir. You just had to fuck it up. But shout out to everybody joining us today. All the super chats, much appreciated, y'all. Make sure y'all tapped in with us tomorrow for the Pistons playoff preview show, and also join us Saturday. We giving them the Lions treatment, man. They get pregame, they get watch party, and postgame show. Best coverage in the city, hands down. Make sure y'all tapped in with Woodward Sports. Shout out to my team. I love each and every one of y'all. Let's keep this shit rolling, bro.
Hey, I'm going to give you a little bit more time unless you got that winner, JB.
Oh no, I got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth, and he's bringing gifts, man. That's Woodward Sports Santa Claus. JB Smooth. What up, though?
Hey, what's going on, chat family? Thanks for tapping in with us once again. As KG said, tomorrow we'll have the Pistons playoff preview show. Cool, it should be fun. I think we definitely have some fun there. I don't know if we got any like special guests dropping by, but you never know who could drop by the studio to see us. But our merch giveaway, I think I got to go with the stats man himself, Mr. My City, for
Hey,
showing
shout
us
out,
those
Brody.
stats. So you are our merch winner for today, my guy.
Hey, shout out. And again, that's Kool-Aid at woodwardsports.com. And that right there is Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad, vet of the network, all sports, Red Wings correspondent, and somebody that's just an absolute Pistons lover. And for all Pistons lover and Detroit sports fans out there, man, I'm ecstatic for you guys, especially Flannel. We've had a lot of conversations over the last 3.5 years
Yes,
now.
we have, and not all of them have been good. Most of them weren't for a while. But anywho, the Pistons, just talking about the Pistons in the playoffs and previewing a series against the Knicks, it's actually taking away a lot of my Riley Green angst. But come on, Riley, for me, you want me in your
You
corner
can
so
do
bad.
it.
I promise you. I promise you.
Flannel ready to risk it all for Riley Green, bro.
I mean,
you
he's
got to
about to
come
cut
through,
off
At
bro.
this
Limb,
point, I'd
so-
almost risk it all for like an infield dribbler. or
Right.
something. Just come on, man.
Just do something.
Get off the schneid. I'm in hell right now.
Yeah, no.
Actually, probably no one's more in hell.
All the people that troll Flannel is getting their shit off right now, man. Help your boy out, man. Help your boy out.
Help
At
me.
least we have Cade.
As we got Cade.
This is your boy Brandon Dent and Detroit, Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for the network. And just real quick as well, we're going to run with largely the Woo crew and our guy Platty for the
Shout out
the
Chris
show
Platty.
tomorrow. He just hit me. He was like, "Am I in a booth or am I on a desk?" Platty, bro, we're going to try and have you up here, man.
Nah, he'll be on the desk, bro. Let's give my man some love. Great Pistons insider. He talks a good game about the
He's
Pistons.
going to be a part of also our other coverage as well as Spinny going into the pregame watch party and postgame. So Anton also will be on the desk. I know he's another one of those guys
Shout
that
out Anson.
loves the Pistons. So I'm ecstatic for this, man. We're covering Pistons playoffs. In the past, our biggest Pistons events were draft lottery and draft shows. Now it's playoff previews and playoffs.
I have a weird feeling that me and Anson are going to fight about something.
I can see that.
boy.
I can definitely see
It's
that.
probably not
show's
going to be
gonna
about
be
the
lit.
Pistons. But
Tune in.
I love
pay
this.
money
This
to see
is
that.
the promo.
Right.
I pay money to see that.
Rando Smalls, Riley, big day coming. A cycle? I would nut.
Oh, shit.
I would actually nut.
Don't let him hit a cycle. Sam coming in here on all bullshit the next day. I told you.
Going bang, bang, bang.
Right. I told you, motherfuckers.
That's it.
I mean, it's like porn to me. I'm asking for an infield single. At least, maybe a little bit.
2020 for Duren in the playoffs and a cycle for Riley Green the next
damn
game.
right.
Let's go, man. We here.
Oh, man.
We here.
We are here. And you know what? This is Wake Up Woodward and Chat Family. As always, you guys are the most important part of this thing. Thank you guys for your support. Smashing the like button, sending in those super chats again to our winner. The email is kool-aid@woodwardsports.com. And we appreciate you guys' patience at working through these giveaways. I know that some people are getting taken care of little by little. But have a blessed day, you guys. It's been Wake Up Woodward. Let's rock.